The Shape of Night is a 1964 drama film, Japanese. I didn't know anything about this film, but since it's released by Radiance, I wanted to check it out. And this movie is essentially depression in celluloid form. It really is. This is about Yoshie. She basically works two jobs. By day, she's a factory worker. By night, she works as a bar hostess. And she's very beautiful and young, and a lot of guys want to talk to her, but she sort of rebuffs them. However, E.G. shows up. He is a smooth-suited, handsome guy who strings her along for a little bit and takes her dancing. However, he starts asking to borrow money, and she's like, sure, you know, for gambling, whatever. However, he keeps asking her for money. When she finally says no, he goes, I'm actually a Yakuza and I need a certain allotment or I'll get in trouble, and I'll get in trouble from the head office. So he guilt trips her into prostituting herself for one night only. She says she'll just do it the one time. However, we know that that's not going to be the case. And of course, he starts bringing her clients and she starts sleeping with them for money. And then when his bosses see her out and about with him, they decide that she needs to do more. So they make him tell her to do street walking to get more money, and she's got to learn the ropes and the perils of doing that. And then once she tries to pull away and quit this, they come for revenge in brutal fashion. And this movie is really like a slow descent, like a slow burn, but a slow descent into the madness of being stuck in the situation. Any normal person would run to the police, but this is a 60s kind of era drama where she's also afraid of sexual blackmail and people knowing what she does and what she's, you know, she also wants to do it herself too, because she's the breadwinner now, and she's afraid that the Yakuza will hurt E.G. and they might cut off his fingers or something. So she's sort of stuck in the situation and she doesn't want to find a way out. However, one of her clients ends up trying to be like a shining knight and offers her a way out. So it gives her this sort of option. So she's got the second half of this film is basically her waffling about a decision to leave this man. And certain things happen to E.G. too. It's a really like dour, really sad descent into madness, really. And then the ending just sort of is like the climax, and it could have kept going. I wanted more scenes. It ends a little early, but besides that, the movie is just a masterclass of just mood and a sort of deconstruction of a more realistic abusive relationship. Because people always think of like an abusive relationship as being really cliche. Like you watch a movie or a TV show and this gorilla-like man with a wife beater starts slapping around his little meek housewife. When in reality, it's not like that at all. It's usually you date someone, they're normal, then they start pushing your buttons and you don't really sort of, you know, the red flags show up, but you're sort of already in love. So it's sort of, you sort of ignore it. And then it escalates to the point where either you do something about it or you don't. And it's never binary, right? I mean, an abusive person can also love you and also treat you nicely and buy you gifts and be apologetic after doing stuff. So E.G. will slap her around a little bit, but then the next moment he'll be like a little worm crawling and begging her to stay. So it really does sort of capture the sort of dichotomy of an abusive person. They're not just one type all the time. They usually are someone you love, and then they do stuff and they push you, and they escalate, and then they back off, then they apologize, and the cycle just continues. So the movie does capture that really well. So The Shape of Night is a hard watch, but it's a really well done film. I wish it would be a masterpiece if they added a couple extra scenes at the end of the film, but I give it a 7.5 out of 10.